Happy or sad? Is it really our choice? Yes, I believe that it is. And I believe also that so much depends on how we evaluate and judge what has happened or what is happening to us. How do you evaluate what's happening to you? How do you choose to evaluate? We are not being told how to evaluate. So my question here and now is, how do you want to evaluate in the future from here on out? I'm Liah Kraft-Kristaine, and I talk about happiness and emotional intelligence and some other things besides that. But the core of us, the core, is emotional intelligence. When we have that handled, we can do anything. But frankly, it doesn't matter how much intelligence we have. It doesn't matter how many degrees we have. It doesn't matter how much training or knowledge we have. If we can't feel good enough to get out of bed in the morning, none of that matters. We have to feel good first. Then we can write the great American novel. Then we can start a business. Then we can do all the things in life that we want to do. But we must handle the feelings first. So, is it really all about how we judge things that happen to us? What do you think? Well, take for example a situation. Imagine this. Someone's standing in a mall and people are going by, and that person's holding a clipboard. And you know how you think somebody's doing they're doing some kind of a survey, and I don't want to stop and have a survey, so I'm going to go all the way around this person so that I don't have to stop because I'm in a hurry. Imagine that this person with a clipboard sees someone about 10 feet away and runs over to that person and hands that person something. And that person keeps walking, takes it, but keeps walking until that person gets a good distance away. And then he or she looks down to see what was put in my hand here. It was just paper. What is it? It's money. It's paper money. That person with the clipboard just handed out some money. And then imagine that there's another person walking by over there. And the person with the clipboard takes off running and catches up with that person, hands that person something. That person feels that it's paper also and waits till they leave and gets a good distance away. Now imagine that this scene keeps repeating and repeating. But one young man is so excited. He continued walking until he came up to a kind of a private location, and he stopped and he looked at his money, and he is so ecstatic. This person just gave him, this stranger who ran up to him, just gave him a $20 bill. And that's exactly the amount of money he needed to finish fixing on his car, what he was fixing on his car. Perfect. Amazing. He thinks, I am so lucky. Life is good. Life is fabulous. This is just astounding. I have a $20 bill in my hand. Well, first I better make sure it's not counterfeit, but it's a $20 bill. I am absolutely elated, he thinks. He thinks, what else? What other good things are going to happen today? Incredible. This is like a new place in my life. Maybe wonderful things are going to happen to me from here on out. So the next thing that happens is a person comes up to him and he turns to the person that just came up to him and he said, somebody just gave me a $20 bill. Can you believe it? I was just walking through the mall and somebody handed me a $20 bill. And the guy next to him says, you mean the person with the clipboard? And he said, yeah, that person just gave me a $20 bill. And the other guy says, he gave me a 50. Now, the young man with the 20 looks out over at him, and his mind starts churning. And he starts thinking, why didn't I get a $50 bill? Geez, if I had a 50, think of what I could do with it. Oh my gosh, I wonder why that person didn't give me a 50. What is it about me that didn't land that 50? Why did this happen? Why did I just get a 20? Geez, it's just a 20. I can't believe it. What dumb, stupid luck. I got a 20 instead of a 50. Boy, what rotten thing to happen. Now, take a look at that. Same thing, no difference. Instead of feeling on top of the world, feeling magical, feeling blessed, feeling wonderful, all of a sudden, the guy that got the 20 is feeling rotten. Nobody made him feel rotten. Nobody stepped inside his head and said, hey, pal, you still got the 20. He chose to change his tune to a tune that is out of tune. And in that moment of deciding that he wasn't lucky, that instead he had been severely unlucky, he changed the whole sense of what he felt about his life. And because of that, if he feels that strongly enough and continues to feel that strongly enough, I believe and I know that he will attract lesser events and opportunities and people than he would have attracted had he stayed in the wonderful, magical feeling of, isn't this fantastic? Isn't this great? I know that your sense of good or bad, happy or sad, affects the next thing and the next thing and the next thing that happens to you. It may not be instantaneous, it usually isn't, but neither are feelings. And sometimes a bad luck feeling will continue on for the rest of the day. And maybe you wake up with it in the next morning, still thinking about the fact that I should have had that 50 and I didn't get that 50, I just got a 20. If that continues on and that becomes a dominant feeling for a few days, it is very likely that events, people, things around you, even luck, what seems to be luck, you accidentally kick something over you didn't want to kick over, things like that can happen. Partly because you're not feeling good about yourself, about other people, or about life in general. Watch how you choose to judge what happens to you, how you assess what happens to you. And I say, choose to make it all good. Say it's all good. What happens to me, you say, is good. Life is good. Most people are good. That's my take on it. I wish you good and happy. See you next time.